Jey Morales. Unbound. Revelation in the house. Turn it up now. Slide in, sit back, got your mind on spin. Jay talks smooth, revelation jumping. From headlines to the stories you heard, we break it down raw, word after word. You got questions, we got time. Little bit of truth with a sideways smile. Turn that dial, lock in and stay. We're taking that talk all the way. Jey Morales Unbound, gonna shake your mind around from the deep dark doubts to the laughs out loud. Jey Morales Unbound, where the wild thoughts all get found. You can't stop that sound when the truth comes around. Popcorn popping, newsfeed hot. Revelation drop a line, make the whole room stop. Side-eye theories, rumors in the air. Jay peeling back slow, lay the truth out there. Little bit of wisdom, little bit of clown. We can lift you up, we can break it all down. Turn that chair to your favorite place. Let the talk run long, let it chase that chase. Jey Morales Unbound, gonna shake your mind around from the deep dark doubts to the laughs out loud. Jey Morales Unbound, where the wild thoughts all get found. You can't stop that sound when the truth comes around. Come on. From the couch to the car, you feel that spark. Yeah, that's us. From your doubts to your dreams, we in between, kicking up dust. Hey! Jey Morales Unbound. Oh yeah. Gonna shake your mind around from the deep dark doubts to the laughs out loud. Jey Morales Unbound, where the wild thoughts all get found. You can't stop that sound when the truth comes around. You can't stop that sound when the truth comes around. Jey Morales Unbound.
Welcome back, everybody, to Unbound. My name is Jey Morales, and welcome to Unbound, episode 15, season 2. The show where we dig beneath the headlines, unpack the chaos, and tackle the stories everyone else is too nervous to cover. I'm Jey Morales, and with me, as always, is my co-host, Revelation. What's going on, Revelation? Happy Monday.
Just more of the same. Counting down the days till, the warmer weather gets here, and it's, real close.
Hell yeah, it's
It's
almost
just in the
here.
topsy-turvy now.
Hell yeah. My kids had a cheerleading competition down in Pittsburgh, and just a 3-hour difference really did make an impact on the weather. In Pittsburgh was like 75 degrees on Sunday, and it was amazing. No sweater, no jacket, just jeans and a t-shirt, where it should be actually shorts and a t-shirt. You know what I'm saying? So hell yeah. Can't wait for that good weather to come. And I bet you guys can't wait either. But yeah, welcome back to Unbound, everybody. And tonight we got a packed episode from the escalating Middle East war between Iran, Israel, and the United States, and its global economic ripple effects. to surging oil prices and a fatal Air Canada collision at LaGuardia Airport today, or yesterday. Sorry about that. And ICE agents assisting TSA amid staffing pressures, and a major Homeland Security leadership shift in the international incidents, including an anti-Semitic arson attack in London. We'll also touch on major developments in the tech world and recent losses across media and culture. It's a week of defined by conflict, consequences, and major transitions across the globe, and we're breaking it all down tonight, ladies and gentlemen. So make sure that you have your drinkity drink ready. All right, your coffee, your water, your soda, whatever, your THC drink, your CBD drink, whatever. Uh, Again, welcome to Unbound, everybody, and we're going to touch. The first thing that we're going to touch is the war in the Middle East, the escalation, expansion, and uncertain diplomacy, and like we did on the last episode last Monday, we're going to go from the dates of March 17th to today, March 23rd. So bear with me as we go through this. And before I go through this, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to say thank you to all of you 9 viewers watching so far right now. I also would like to send a massive, massive thank you, Revelation. I don't know if you know this. I would like to send a massive thank you to our subscribers down in New Jersey. They sent over an awesome collectible, non-open yet, CD of Bad Bunny, Un Verano Sin Ti, man. They sent it over from New Jersey. Thank you so much to our subscribers, Magdali and Vanessa. Thank you so much. I truly appreciate the CD. This is what our subscribers now are sending gifts. Revelation. They're sending gifts from afar. So thank you again. We truly appreciate it. This is a cool album, especially now putting it towards, the rest of the collection that we got going on here on the Morales household. So I truly appreciate it. Thank you so much. Here are some of the, sorry about that. Here are some of the songs that are in this one. I don't know if it's working very well. I know it's also backwards, ladies and gentlemen, so I'm sorry about that. But yeah. Thank you very much again to Magdali and Vanessa, our daughter. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. But without further ado, we're gonna move on to our first topic here. By the third full week of March 2026, the war between Iran, Israel, and the United States had moved beyond the initial shock of rapid airstrikes and into a phase defined by sustained escalation, strategic targeting, and growing global consequences. Between March 17th and March 23rd, the conflict intensified across multiple dimensions: military, political, and economic, while early and conflicting signals of diplomacy began to emerge. This period demonstrates how modern warfare is no longer confined to battlefields alone. Instead, it unfolds simultaneously across leadership structures, energy systems, and civilian populations and global markets, all while the possibility of resolution remains uncertain. We're going to start on March 17th. The conflict entered one of its most consequential phases when Israeli forces conducted a targeted strike in Tehran that killed Ali Larijani, a senior Iranian political figure deeply connected to national security and strategic decision making. His death represented more than the loss of individual. It signaled a continued effort to dismantle Iran's leadership network from the top down. This type of strike reflects a broader military strategy, often referred to as decapitation, in which opposing forces aim to weaken command structures by eliminating key leaders. While such tactics can disrupt coordination in the short term. They also carry significant risk. In Iran's case, the strike appeared to accelerate the consolidation of power within more hardline elements, particularly the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, the IRGC, which has increasingly taken control of wartime operations. Iran responded quickly within hours. Waves of missiles and drones were launched towards Israeli territory, some aimed at major population centers. Air defense systems intercepted many of these projectiles, but the scale of frequency of attacks suggested that Iran was willing to sustain prolonged retaliation rather than seek immediate de-escalation. The events of March 17 made one reality clear. The war was no longer just about degrading military infrastructure. It had become a direct confrontation targeting the political core of each side. By March 18th, the human cost of the conflict had become increasingly visible. Casualty estimates inside Iran climbed into the thousands, with tens of thousands more reported injured. Hospitals in major cities face mounting strain as medical systems struggle to keep up with the influx of wounded civilians and military personnel. At the same time, the nature of attacks themselves began to shift. Iran introduced more advanced missile systems, including multi-warhead projectiles designed to evade interception by overwhelming defensive systems. These weapons increased the likelihood that at least some missiles would reach their targets, raising the stakes for civilian population in Israeli cities. The use of such technology highlights an important dynamic in modern warfare. As defensive systems improve, offensive capabilities evolve in response. What began as largely contained military strikes was increasingly spilling into civilian life, making it harder to separate battlefield objectives from humanitarian consequences. This escalation also deepened psychological pressure. Air raid sirens, repeated sheltering, and the constant threat of incoming strikes, creating a climate of fear that extended far beyond the immediate physical damage. On March 19th, the conflict expanded into one of the most critical domains of global importance. Energy infrastructure. Iranian forces launched attacks connected to oil facilities and strategic assets across the Persian Gulf, while U.S. and Israeli forces continued targeting Iranian sites tied to energy production and export capacity. This marked a clear transition into the analysis described as economic warfare rather than focusing solely on military advantage. Both sides began targeting systems that sustain national economies and global markets. The importance of these targets cannot be overstated. The Persian Gulf region, particularly the Strait of Hormuz, serves as a vital artery of global oil supply. Even the perception that this corridor might be disrupted can send shockwaves through international markets. At the same time, the United States began reinforcing its presence in the region. Additional naval deployments and troop movements signaled preparation not just for continued strikes, but for the possibility of a longer and more complex conflict involving maritime security and regional alliances. The result was immediate. Oil prices surged, insurance rates of shipping increased, and global markets reacted with volatility. What was happening in the Middle East was now directly influencing economies around the world. On March 20th, Israeli strikes on Tehran coincided with Nowruz, the Persian New Year, one of the most significant cultural and national holidays in Iran. The timing of the attack added a symbolic dimension to the conflict, demonstrating how warfare can intersect with cultural life in deeply disruptive ways. While the strikes targeted the strategic location, their occurrence during a major holiday amplified their psychological and societal impact. Celebrations were interrupted, public gatherings were disrupted, and a sense of normalcy became even more difficult to maintain. At the same time, Iran intensified its own strategy of the targeting energy infrastructure throughout the Gulf. These actions further heightened concerns that the war could evolve into sustained disruption of global oil supplies. The events of March 20th illustrate how modern conflict are not only fought over territory or power, but also over perception, morale, and the ability of societies to function under pressure. On March 21st, the conflict approached one of its most dangerous thresholds. Iranian missile strikes targeted areas near Dimona, a location widely associated with Israel's nuclear program. The attack resulted in multiple injuries and sent a clear signal. Strategic deterrence systems were now within the scope of the conflict. This development followed development followed U.S. Strikes on Iranian nuclear-related facilities earlier that same day, marking a rare moment in which both sides engage directly or indirectly with infrastructure tied to nuclear capabilities. While no nuclear weapons were used, the targeting of such sites carries significant global implications. It raises concerns about escalation pathways, the ways in which a conflict could gradually move closer to involving weapons of mass destruction, even if is unintentionally. For the international community, this moment represents a warning sign. Conflicts of involving nuclear adjacent infrastructure, an adjacent infrastructure are highly inherently more unpredictable, and miscalculation can have far-reaching consequences. By March 22nd, the war had settled into a pattern of sustained multi-front conflict. Missile drone attacks continued across Israel, Iran, and U.S. positions in the Gulf. Hezbollah involvement in Lebanon remained active, contributing to an already complex regional landscape. At the same time, international divisions became more apparent. Some countries explored joining naval coalitions to protect shipping routes, while others pushed for immediate ceasefire negotiations. This divergence reflects a broader challenge in global politics. While conflicts may be geographically concentrated, their consequences are widely shared, yet consensus on how to respond is often difficult to achieve. Markets remain unstable, and uncertainty dominated both political and economic decision making. The war no longer a short-term crisis. It was becoming an ongoing global concern. And as of Monday today, ladies and gentlemen, March 23rd, unfolds the war between Iran, Israel, and the United States continues to develop in real time, with shifting dynamics across diplomacy, military readiness, and global economic pressure. While the conflict remains active, today's development reflect a rare combination of tentative diplomatic signals alongside continued uncertainty and strategic positioning. At the start of the day, tensions remain concentrated around the Strait of Hormuz, a critical global shipping corridor responsible for a significant portion of the world's oil transport. Iranian threats regarding the potential disruption of shipping continue to raise concerns among global observers. Particularly given the strategic importance of maintaining uninterrupted energy flows. According to sources, the United States has maintained heightened military readiness in the region while continuing to monitor Iranian naval activity closely. The presence of mines and the risk of further maritime escalation remain key concerns of international shipping and energy security. According to sources, the United States has begun indicating that the productive conservations may have taken place in Iranian representatives, suggesting that some form of communication, whether direct or indirect, is currently underway. In connection with these developments, the United States has reportedly delayed planned strikes on Iranian energy infrastructure, creating a temporary window intended to allow space for potential diplomatic progress. However, Iranian officials have publicly denied that formal negotiations are occurring, creating conflict narratives between the two sides. This lack of clarity contributes to uncertainty about whether meaningful diplomacy is actually underway or whether both parties are maintaining strategic ambiguity while continuing to posture militarily. Global finances markets respond to this to possibility of reduced immediate escalation oil prices, which had previously risen amid fears of disruption to energy supply routes. Showed signs of stabilization following reports of pause in certain military actions. Investors continue to closely track developments related to energy infrastructure, maritime security in the Persian Gulf, and military activity in diplomatic signals. Even limited indications of restraint have been enough to influence market behavior, reflecting the war's strong connection to global economic stability. Despite diplomatic signals, military activity remains ongoing across multiple fronts. U.S. and allied forces continue to maintain operational readiness in the Persian Gulf. Israeli forces continue conducting strikes targeting Iranian and affiliated military infrastructure. Iran continues to issue warnings regarding retaliation if its strategic assets or energy systems are further targeted. The situation reflects a dual track reality in which diplomacy and military operations coexist rather than replace one another. The Strait of Hormuz continues to serve as one of the most important vulnerable points in the global energy system, and any interruption, whether through military action, mining activity, or perceived instability, has the potential to affect global oil supply chains and pricing. According to sources, energy markets remain highly sensitive to developments in the region, with analysts warning that prolonged instability could contribute to sustained inflationary pressures and long-term shifts in global energy policy. By the end of the day of March 23rd, represents a moment of cautious uncertainty rather than clear progress towards resolution. The key developments include reports of possible communication between the United States and Iran, a temporary delay in planned U.S. strikes on Iranian energy infrastructure, continued denial from Iranian officials regarding formal negotiations, ongoing military readiness across all sides, and continued volatility in global energy markets. While diplomatic signals have emerged, the absence of confirmed agreement and the persistence of conflicting narratives suggest that the situation remains fragile. At this stage, the conflict appears to be balancing between escalation and negotiation, with the direction of the war still dependent on how both sides choose to respond in the coming days. Now, my ending discussing questions about this: how can diplomacy progress when conflicting public statements create uncertainty about whether negotiations are actually taking place? In what ways does instability in the Strait of Hormuz influence global economic systems and international involvement in the conflict? And finally, what are the potential advantages and risk of temporarily pausing military operations to allow space for diplomatic engagement during an ongoing war? Let us know in the comment section, as always, ladies and gentlemen. And Revelation, what do we got?
Listen, I'm all for taking a momentary pause to get, oil prices back down, but this, like the regime in Iran, it has to go. Like, we have a real shot for the first time in like 40 some years to finally make the people of Iran actually free, to let, women not be seen as property, let people dress however they want, let women go to school, you know, uh, people not be have their hand cut off for stealing, not be pelted with rocks to death for, committing a crime. Like, and yes, those are all real things. I'm not just saying those for, haha funnies. Those are real examples, by the way. Like, we have like legitimate like opportunity here to turn it back to pre-Ayatollah, like, back when it was monarchy. We have a legitimate opportunity because we've already armed the Kurds who have been suppressed in that region for years,
Right.
who weren't when it was under the monarchy, pre-19, I want to say 76 or 79, when the revolution took place, and a bunch of areas, militants from have risen up of the populace because the military just refuses to do anything because they're not getting paid, because the only people that are getting paid and actually have weapons are the IRGC, because they just yoinked them all from the regular military, because they're the ones now trying to just protect, areas they control and the capital. So we have a legitimate opportunity here to change them. That way they can, finally engage in diplomatic talks with the rest of the world instead of just screaming and telling people to go screw off, doing trade with the rest of the world.
Right.
Once they rebuild, doing humanitarian aid with people.
That's how it be. You still there?
Yeah, I was done.
It's the long pause for me, ladies and gentlemen. It's the long pause for me. But let us know in the comment section. Are you going to start paying $5 per gallon in a week or two? Find out on Unbound. We'll let you know this Friday. What do we got next, ladies and gentlemen, here? We got the Air Canada LaGuardia collision. We got full details of the report and updated live report. On the night of March 22nd, 2026, a fatal aviation accident occurred at the New York's LaGuardia Airport when an Air Canada Express regional flight collided with a Port Authority emergency vehicle during landing. What initially appeared to be a localized runway incident quickly escalated into a major aviation disaster, resulting in the deaths of 2 pilots, dozens of injuries, the temporary closure of the airport, and a full-scale federal investigation that continues to unfold as new details emerge. The aircraft involved was the Bombardier CRJ 900LR, operating as Air Canada Express Flight 8646 from Montreal Trudeau International Trudeau International Airport to LaGuardia. The flight was operated by Jazz Aviation on behalf of Air Canada. On board were 72 passengers and 4 crew members, making a total of 76 occupants as the aircraft approached runway 4 for landing shortly before midnight. It was in the final phase of descent when the collision occurred. At approximately 11:37 p.m. local time, the aircraft touched down and began decelerating on the runway. At the same time, a Port Authority aircraft rescue and firefighting ARFF vehicle was crossing the runway in response to a separate emergency involving another aircraft on the field. The timing of these moments proved critical. According to early investigations and audio recordings, both the aircraft and the ground vehicle had been cleared to operate in the same runway environment, creating a fatal conflict that left no time to avoid impact. The collision struck the one second. The collision struck the forward section of the aircraft, directly impacting the cockpit. The force of the crash destroyed the nose of the plane and severely compromised the flight deck. Both pilots were killed instantly due to the catastrophic damage concentrated at the front of the aircraft. The Captain Antoine Forrest and the first officer Mackenzie Gunther were identified as the 2 deceased crew members. Their loss has been widely mourned within the aviation community, particularly as both were actively performing standard landing procedures at the time of the incident. Despite the severity of the collision, the remainder of the aircraft remained structurally intact, enough to allow many on board to survive. Of the 76 occupants, approximately 41 people, including passengers, cabin crew, and ground vehicle personnel, were transported to a nearby hospital for treatment. Injuries range from minor to serious, with some individuals requiring extended care while others were discharged relatively quickly. In addition, 2 personnel aboard the fire truck sustained injuries. Through reports indicate they survived and were stabilized following medical treatment. The immediate aftermath of the crash triggered a large-scale emergency response. Firefighters, police, and medical personnel arrived rapidly at the scene, securing the aircraft, assisting the injured, and managing the potential hazards such as fuel leakage or fire risk. The airport was quickly shut down, and all incoming and outgoing flights were suspended. Aircraft already en route to LaGuardia were diverted to nearby airports, including JFK and Newark Liberty International Airport. The shutdown of LaGuardia had immediate ripple effects across the entire New York aviation systems. Hundreds of flights were delayed or canceled, and congestion spread across multiple airports in the region. By the afternoon of March 23rd, the operation began to resume on limited basis, with at least one runway reopened while another remained closed for investigation and cleanup. This partial reopening still left the airport operating below normal capacity, contributing to continued delays and disruptions. As operations stabilized, attention shifted towards understanding exactly how the collision occurred. The National Transport Safety Board, the NTSB, along with the Federal Aviation Administration, the FAA, and the Canada's Transportation Safety Board, the TSB, launched coordinated investigations. Flight data recorders and cockpit voice recorders were recovered and transported for analysis in Washington, where they will provide detailed insight into the aircraft's final moments. Early findings suggest that the collision may have resulted from a breakdown in communication between air traffic control and ground operations. According to reports, audio recordings captured a controller attempting to halt the ground vehicle moments before impact, indicating that conflicting clearances had already been issued in high traffic environments like LaGuardia. Runway coordination depends on heavily on precise timing and strict procedural adherence when multiple operations overlap, particularly during emergency responses. The risk of miscommunication increases significantly. Recent updates have added further context to the investigation, according to resources. The ground vehicle involved was responding to a separate emergency, as we said, involving another aircraft, which required immediate access across the runway. At the same time, the landing aircraft was approaching at the same time of high operational activity near the airport's midnight curfew window. Experts have noted that this combination of emergency response, time pressure, and dense of traffic created highly unusual operation environment for air traffic controllers. Additional reports indicate that the controller managing the situation may have been handling multiple responsibilities simultaneously, contributing to the complexity of the moment. Some accounts suggest that a single controller may have been coordinating both flights arrivals and ground vehicle movement, a scenario that increases cognitive workload and the potential for error. Audio transcripts reviewed after the crash reportedly captured moments of urgency and confusion in the final seconds before the collision. The broader implications of the crash extend beyond the immediate incident. LaGuardia is one of the busiest airports in the United States, operating within tightly constrained airspace and runways. Oh my goodness. Even when small disruptions can have cascading effects across regional and national air traffic, the collision not only caused a temporary shutdown but also highlighted the vulnerabilities in runway safety coordination, particularly when emergency operations intersect with active flight paths. In response to the incident, international and governmental reactions have emphasized both mourning and caution. Canadian and U.S. officials expressed condolences to the families of the deceased pilots and acknowledged the severity of the event. At the same time, aviation authorities have refined from assigning definitive blame, emphasizing that the investigation must be completed before conclusions are drawn. As of the latest updates, the wreckage of the aircraft remains part of the investigation site, with one runway still undergoing inspection and cleanup, while the other has reopened for limited operations. Investigators continue to examine physical evidence, communication logs, and the system procedures to determine the precise sequence of events and identifying contributing factors. What is already clear, however, is that this incident represents a rare but significant failure within a highly regulated system. Aviation safety depends on layered coordination between pilots, controllers, and ground personnel. When those layers align correctly, the system is extremely safe. When they fail, even briefly, the consequences can be severe and immediate. The LaGuardia collision now stands as both a tragedy and a case of study in aviation safety, highlighting the importance of communication, timing, and procedural clarity in environments where multiple operations must occur simultaneously under pressure. As the investigation continues, the findings will likely influence future policies, training protocols, and safety mechanisms designed to prevent similar runway conflicts. Now, my ending discussing questions to this. How can air traffic control systems be improved to prevent runway clearances during high pressure or emergency situations? What role does human workload and situational complexity play in aviation accidents compared to system design and procedural safeguards? Should airports implement additional automated systems to detect runway conflicts in real time, and what limitations might those systems face? Now, ladies and gentlemen, let us know in the comment section about it, your thoughts, and my thoughts goes to and condolences as well to the families of the deceased. Go ahead, Revelation. What do you think?
Okay, that one's a 50-50 to both of them. Like, so now let's say that uh emergency vehicle wasn't already out on the tarmac when the plane was going in for landing. Because, like you said, there was another plane already on the tarmac that was requiring immediate attention.
Correct.
And that was why it was responding.
Yeah.
That air traffic controller should have either one, placed an alert out for the said lane, two, had a partial lane closure where that was, or three, had a full lane closure. And so that way any incoming planes would have known when they were coming in, oh hey, we can't land in this lane because something has happened, and chances are there are probably going to be emergency vehicles going on in this area or something else. We might need to circle around and land somewhere else on this airfield. But that didn't happen, and even if it did happen, they just landed anyways, and boom. That's what, like, and you know, as a pilot, oh fuck, I can clearly see there's a damn plane on the airfield that is not moving, and then you see a bright fucking yellow, you know, like, you know, emergency service vehicle with its blue lights speeding across the tarmac. You're like from the very edge, like you can see it moving. You're like, oh, I wonder where that's going.
Right.
Maybe we should not land. So what do? Start landing. What? That should never have crossed your mind to start landing procedures. Like, the minute you see blue lights on a runway, as a pilot, your first thought should be stay in the air, contact air traffic controls, ask them what the hell's going on, and be like, hey, saw blue lights down there. Is that a vehicle or like what's going on? Still up in the air, decided to circle around. Am I clear to land or no? If they say yeah, just land over here, go land. If they say no, divert to said closest airport, which would be this, do that.
Right.
Like, that's probably what they, but so, I mean, it's kind of on both of them. Chances are we'll end up finding out in like a month and a half, because, well, we all know how stuff like that works out.
That's a fact. That's a fact. Anyway, we're talking about planes in airports. Airport security is under strain. ICE agents deployed amid TSA staffing shortages. As of today, March 23rd, well, from the show, March 23rd. Reports across multiple sources confirm a significant operational shift in U.S. airport security as immigration and customs enforcement ICE agents were deployed to major airports to assist with crowd management and operational support amid widespread transportation security administration, the TSA staffing shortages. The move tied to ongoing federal budget, despite a dispute. Sorry, let me say that again. The move tied to ongoing federal budget disputes and a partial government shutdown has introduced a new layer of complexity into airport operations while raising questions about training, effectiveness, and public perception. The decision to deploy ICE personnel comes as TSA staffing levels have been severely affected by prolonged funding disruptions. According to recent data, TSA workforce shortages have been building for months, driven by attrition, delayed pay, and increasing operational demands. In some airports, though, these shortages have contributed to extremely long wait times at security checkpoints, with reports of lines stretching for hours during peak travel periods. Against this backdrop, White House border czar Tom Homan has been a central figure in coordinating the deployment of federal resources to airports. According to sources, Holman has described the initiative as a temporary measure intended to alleviate pressure on TSA personnel by reallocating federal law enforcement officers to assist with non-screening tasks such as crowd control, managing entry and exit points, and helping maintain order in high-traffic areas of airports. The presence of ICE agents in airports represents a notable shift in how federal personnel are being utilized. ICE officers are trained law enforcement agents with responsibilities that typically include immigration enforcement and related operations, rather than passenger screening or aviation security. While they possess law enforcement authority, their training does not align directly with TSA specialized procedures for screening passengers and identifying prohibited items. This distinction has become a focal point in discussions about the effectiveness and appropriateness of their deployment. According to sources, the deployment is not intended to replace TSA officers at security checkpoints, but rather than to support them indirectly by reducing congestion in surrounding areas of airports. In practice, ICE agents have been observed assisting with crowd flow, monitoring public areas, and helping direct passengers through terminals where TSA staffing shortages have led to bottlenecks. Their role appears to be supplementary rather than operational within the screening process itself. The staffing crisis with TSA is closely tied to the broader political situation in Washington. Partial government shutdown has disrupted funding for multiple federal agencies, including the Department of Homeland Security, which oversees both TSA in ICE. As a result, TSA employees have faced delayed or missed paychecks, contributing to absenteeism and, in some cases, resignations. This has further strained an already limited workforce, compounding the operational challenges at airports nationwide. The deployment of ICE agents has been presented by officials as a practical response to an immediate logistical problem. However, it has also sparked debate among lawmakers, airport workers, and the traveling public. Critics argue that using ICE personnel in airports and environments may introduce confusion due to their indistinct role in public perception, particularly given ICE association with immigration enforcement activities. Others have raised concerns about whether law enforcement officers without specialized TSA training are the most appropriate personnel to assist in a security adjacent environment. Public reaction has been mixed, with some travelers expressing frustration over long wait times and uncertainty about airport procedures, while others have questioned the visibility of ICE agents in civilian travel spaces. Reports indicate that while ICE personnel are present in several major airports, their activities are largely limited to support functions rather than direct interaction with security screening systems. The policy environment surrounding this deployment remains highly politicized. The staffing shortages at TSA have become a point of contention in ongoing negotiations over federal funding and immigration policy. Some lawmakers have argued that the underlying issue stems from budgetary impasses, while others have focused on broader structural concerns within federal agencies responsible for homeland security. At the operation level, airports authorities continue to adapt to fluctuation staffing levels. In some locations, passengers have been advised to arrive significantly earlier than usual to accommodate longer wait times. Airlines and airport operators have also implemented contingency measures to manage congestion, including adjusting schedules and increasing coordination with federal agencies. The broader implication of this situation extend beyond immediate airport delays. The integration of ICE agents into airports environments highlights the interconnected natures of federal agencies within the Department of Homeland Security, and it raises questions about resources or resource allocation during periods of crisis. It also underscores how disruptions in one area of government funding can cascade into public-facing systems such as air travel, which relies on consistent staffing and coordination to function effectively. According to sources, ICE agents have been instructed to focus on assisting with logistical support rather than performing duties related to passenger screening or immigration enforcement within the airport context. Their presence is intended to supplement TSA operations rather than alter the core security process. However, the visibility of uniformed federal law enforcement personnel in an airport terminal has inevitably drawn attention and prompted discussion about the evolving role of federal agencies in everyday public spaces. As the situation continues to develop, attention is likely remain on both the effectiveness of the deployment and the broader political negotiation that underpinned it. If TSA staffing levels improve through funding resolution or workforce recovery, the reliance on supplemental personnel such as ICE agents may decrease. Conversely, if shortages persist, this model of cross-agency support could become a more regular feature of airport operations during periods of strain. Ultimately, the current deployment reflects a moment of adaptation within the U.S. federal system, where agencies are being asked to adjust roles and responsibilities in response to external pressures. Whether this approach proves sustainable will depend not only on operational outcomes, but also on the resolution of the underlying funding and policy changes that led to the shortages in the first place. Now, my ending discussing questions about this. What are the advantages and potential drawbacks of using ICE agents to support TSA operations in airports during staffing shortages? How might differences in training and commission between ICE and TSA affect the effectiveness of airport security operation? And what extent should federal agencies be allowed to reassign personnel across roles during times of crisis? And what safeguards should be in place? Let us know in the comments section, ladies and gentlemen. And Revelation, what do you got about this?
I'm actually gonna. Now this is unbiased. Keep in mind, but I'm actually gonna tell the truth about this. So every time you said lawmakers in there, it's just one party, the Democratic Party. Because if you don't know, ICE falls under the Department of Homeland Security. Now, they because of the whole, like, government shutdown. Obviously, every single department of whatever fucking fancy abbreviation bullshit you wanna call it, has suffered immensely. Department of Health, Department of War, Department of fucking Homeland Security, Department of Baking Apple Pies on a fucking Friday. Anything. They've all suffered. Now, just because ICE is in the Department of Homeland Security, and Border Patrol, keep in mind, just those two, and because they're very controversial, that particular party won't give the, won't fund them, doesn't want to actually pass the full bill to start funding everyone, because once they do that, it'll allow those two people to start doing their jobs, getting rid of the people that they go after, which I'm not going to bring up because that's a whole subject that we're not currently talking about. But there's a third group that falls under the Department of Homeland Security. And I'll let you take a guess at what that one is.
What is it?
The TSA. So by not funding the Department of Homeland Security, you're fucking over the TSA as well, which is also harming anyone who wants to go on the flights. So now they're not getting their paychecks. So you have to bring in the people from ICE. So now you're scaring the shit out of everyone who is in trying to go for the flights, because we've seen what ICE has done because, well, social media, obviously, and they've done some quote-unquote controversial things as of recently. I'm using quote-unquote because, well, some people don't think it's controversial, some people think it is. We both, we know it's what people see on social media. And so I'm assuming they have weapons there because it's ICE. So you're a person there, you see these dudes in body armor and weapons, you're like, what the fuck? TSA only has, I think, like a fucking pistol or a fucking taser, one of the two. You're used to TSA. Now you see these guys there, you know who it is. You're like, are they looking for someone? No, they're just there. And it's like, they're also not, like you said in your thing, some of them are not showing up, some of them are quitting because they're also not getting paid.
According to sources, about 400 TSA
Yeah.
employees have quit.
Yeah, so how much longer is this going to continue for people not getting paid throughout all these fancy smancy fucking 3-4 letter word agencies, that just because one group doesn't want to cooperate and fund because they think that, another one is like, I just wish people could cooperate and be like, okay, well, even though we don't like these people, they gotta go about living. It's like you guys have been collecting fucking $200,000-$300,000 fucking paychecks for like 40 fucking years. Just the rest of us are scrounging by on fucking $50,000 a year. Like, bend over and kiss my white ass. Like, fucking just pass the bill already.
Right.
I don't care if you think I'm fucking a fucking racist, fucking two-horned fucking asshole. Just give me my money. I have to work for a living. Like, you sit in there fucking in this mansion fucking with a fucking chauffeur and armed security guards. Like, I hate people like that.
Facts. Facts. Ladies and gentlemen, again, let us know in the comments section what you think and what on the TSA and ICE agents taking over. Is it going to be a new norm? We'll find out. Let's see here. What do we got? What do we got? What do we got? We got U.S. politics and DHS, the Department of Homeland Security leadership shift. A major political development unfolding in Washington as the United States Senate voted to confirm Mark Wayne Mullen as Secretary of the Department of Homeland Security. The confirmation marks a significant leadership transition at one of the most critical federal agencies, arriving at a moment when the department is already facing internal pressure, operational strain, and broader national debates over immigration policy, border security, and federal authority. The Senate confirmed Mullen in a 54-45 vote, largely along party lines, signaling both support from Republican lawmakers and limited but notable bipartisan backing from a small number of Democrats. The vote followed days of hearings, political negotiations, and public scrutiny surrounding Mullen's suitability to lead an agency responsible for overseeing immigrant enforcement, airport security, disaster response, and national infrastructure protection. Mullen, a Republican senator from Oklahoma and a close ally of President Donald Trump, had been nominated after the administration moved to replace the previous Homeland Security Kristi Noem. Amid mounting criticism over the department's handling of immigration enforcement and internal management. His confirmation represents not only a personnel change, but also a broader shift in direction for the agency, aligning it more closely with the administration policy priorities. In the days leading up to the vote, Mullins underwent a confirmation process that included testimony before Senate committees, where he addressed questions about immigration enforcement, civil liberties, and the use of federal authority. During these hearings, Mullen emphasized his intention to maintain strict enforcement of immigration laws while also asserting that certain procedures, particularly those involving entry into homes or private property, should require judicial oversight. His statements appeared aimed at balancing a firm enforcement posture with assurance intended to address concerns raised by critics of aggressive immigration tactics. According to sources, Mullen's confirmation comes at a time when the Department of Homeland Security is already dealing with operational challenges tied to ongoing political disputes and partial disruptions in federal funding. Reports indicate that internal pressures within the agency have affected staffing levels and operational efficiency, particularly in areas such as airport security and immigration processing. These strains have been compounded by heightened political tensions between White House and congressional leaders over how immigration enforcement should be conducted and funded. The confirmation also occurs against the backdrop of broader national debates involving immigration policy and federal authority. The Trump administration has continued to prioritize strict immigration enforcement measures, including expanded activity by Immigration and Customs Enforcement (ICE) and increased coordination with border security agencies. Mullen's leadership is expected to reinforce these priorities, given his political alignment and prior support for similar policies. At the same time, Democratic lawmakers and civil rights advocates have expressed concerns about the direction of the Department of Homeland Security under the new leadership. Critics have pointed to past enforcement actions and the role of federal agents in domestic operations. Um, Sorry about that. And the potential for expanded use of federal authority in ways they. Sorry about that again. Authority in ways they argue could raise constitutional or civil liberties issues. These concerns were reflected in the Senate debate leading up to the confirmation vote, where discussion centered not only on policy but also on temperament. Temperament. So sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. Accountability and oversight. Mullen's political background has also been a factor in the discussion surrounding his appointment. Before entering the Senate, he built a career in business. Previously served in the House of Representatives. In the Senate, he has been known for his outspoken style and strong alignment with Trump era policies, particularly on immigration and border enforcement. His confirmation to lead DHS represents a continuation of the trajectory, moving legislative roles into executive authority over a large federal department with over 260,000 employees. The leadership transitions comes as DHS faces one of its most complex operation environments in recent years. The agency responsibilities span multiple domains, including Transportation Security Administration, TSA, airport operations, Customs and Border Patrol, Border Protection, the CBP, Immigration and Custom Enforcement, ICE, the Secret Service, the Federal Emergency Management Agency, FEMA. Coordinating these divisions requires not only policy direction but also logistical management across a wide range of domestic and international challenges. In addition to international agency dynamics, Mullen's confirmation is expected to influence ongoing policy debates related to immigration enforcement near sensitive locations, including airports and public infrastructure. According to sources, recent enforcement actions and the visibility of ICE agents in public spaces have contributed to increased scrutiny of DHS operations, particularly in areas where enforcement intersects with public perception and civil liberties. The timing of Mullen's confirmation also intersects with broader national issues, including debates over voting laws, federal authority, and legislative priorities in Congress. As DHS leadership changes hands, lawmakers are expected to continue negotiations over funding, oversight mechanism, and the scope of enforcement policies. These discussions are likely to shape how the department operates under Mullen's leadership in the months ahead. Following the Senate vote, Mullins is expected to assume his role formally in the coming days, where he will begin overseeing the transition into a full operational leadership of the department. His early priorities are anticipated to include stabilizing internal operations, addressing staffing and resources challenges, and aligning department activities with the administration policies agenda. Reactions to the confirmation have been mixed. Supporters have emphasized Mullins' experience, his alignment with the administration goals, and his reputation as a decisive political figure. Critics, however, have raised questions about his approach to enforcement, his past rhetoric, and whether his leadership style will promote stability or intensify existing tensions within the department and across the broader political landscape. As Mullins prepares to take office, the significance of his confirmation expands beyond a single appointment. It represents a shift in leadership at a time when homeland security issues, including immigration, airport operations, and coordination, remain at the center of national debate. The effectiveness of his tenure will likely be measured not only by policy outcomes but also also by how the department navigates the challenges of maintaining security, managing public trust, and operating under political pressure. For now, the confirmation marks the beginning of a new phase for the Department of Homeland Security, one defined by continuity or by continuity in policy direction, but also uncertainty as the agency, adjusts to new leadership during a period of heightened security and heightened scrutiny and operational complexity. Ladies and gentlemen, this was a mouthful of an article. My ending discussion questions here. How might Mark Wayne Mullen leadership style and political alignment influence the direction and priorities of the Department of Homeland Security? And what challenges does DHS face when leadership changes occur during periods of political division and operational strain within the federal government? And how can federal agencies balance strict enforcement of laws with concerns about civil liberties and public trust? Let us know in the comment section, as always, ladies and gentlemen. Rev, what do you got?
He just only had seen a couple days ago that the guy had, gotten put into that position. I didn't really know anything that he stood for, or because they didn't really advertise anything that he said or was going to do. So I mean, this is the first time I'm hearing it, so I mean, let's hope that he does everything that he wants to do, because I mean, I'm just sick and tired of politicians saying things that they're going to do,
Yeah.
and they're just not doing them. If you're gonna do something that sounds shady, just fucking do it. That way we can all just be like, oh, you did something shady. Now let's fucking nail you to the wall for it. Don't do shady shit behind our back. We all know you're doing it. Just do it in front of us so we know. like like I I don't know. So I mean, let's just, cause from the sound of it, he wants to try and, smooth things out and do it by the book and make things run better. So, I mean, let's hope that works. Probably not, because,
Yeah,
the government.
the government. In other words, ladies and gentlemen, we'll keep you posted on the new Christy Noam, right? Mark Wayne Mullins leadership, and we'll keep you posted. So stay tuned, and we'll see how the next what are we? 3 more years left of this presidency or something? 2?
I have no fucking
I don't know. It feels forever. Ladies and gentlemen, keep an eye on that. Right now, we're going to go across the pond of the world to an attack. It was an anti-Semitic arson attack on a Jewish volunteer ambulances in London. A serious...
falafel.
A serious and widely condemned incident unfolded in North London when 4 ambulances belonging to a Jewish volunteer emergency service were deliberately set on fire outside of a synagogue in the Golders Green area. According to sources, the attack is being treated as a targeted anti-Semitic hate crime, with counterterrorism police leading the investigation as authorities work to determine both the perpetrators and potential connections to broader extremist networks. The ambulances belong to Hatzolah, a volunteer-run Jewish emergency response organization that provides medical assistance to both Jewish and non-Jewish residents in the local community. The vehicles were parked near the Makzaik Hadath Orthodox synagogue when they were targeted in the early hours of the morning. According to sources, the fire broke out around 1:40 to 1:45 a.m., quickly escalating as multiple accelerants were used to ignite the vehicles. Emergency services responded rapidly to the scene with six fire engines and approximately 40 firefighters deployed to contain the blaze. The London Fire Brigade reported that the fire involved multiple gas or oxygen cylinders stored within ambulances, which exploded during the incident and caused additional damage to nearby buildings, including shattered windows in residential block adjacent to the synagogue. Despite the intensity of the explosions and fire, no injuries were reported. Um, though several residents were reportedly displaced due to safety concerns. According to sources, surveillance footage reviewed by investigators appears to show multiple masked individuals arriving at the scene and deliberately pouring accelerant onto the vehicles before igniting them and fleeing. Authorities are analyzing CCTV evidence as part of the ongoing manhunt, with no arrests made at the time of reporting. The Metropolitan Police have confirmed that counterterrorism units are overseeing the investigation due to the nature of the attack and its potential links to organized extremist activity. The incidents have been officially classified as an anti-Semitic hate crime by the British authorities, according to sources. Prime Minister Keir Starmer described the attack as deeply shocking and emphasized that such acts of violence have no place in British society. His remarks were echoed by other political leaders, including the Mayor of London and senior members of the government, who all condemned the targeting of emergency medical services and religious institutions. In addition to the political condemnation, the attack has drawn strong reactions from community leaders. According to sources, the chief rabbi of the United Kingdom, Ephraim Marvis, described the incident as particularly sickening assault, emphasizing that Hezbollah's mission is to provide life-saving services to all members of the community, regardless of religion. Community organizations and local residents have expressed both fear and resilience, noting that the attack struck at the heart of a neighborhood with a large and long-standing Jewish population. Further developments indicate that the investigators are exploring possible international links to the attack. According to sources, in Iran, aligned militant group known as Harakat Ashab al-Yamin Islamia has claimed responsibility for the arson through online channels, including a video posted on Telegram. This group has been associated with previous incidents targeting Jewish institutions across Europe, including reported attacks in Belgium and the Netherlands in recent weeks. However, authorities have not independently verified the authenticity of the claim. According to sources, British police have stated that while they were aware of the group's claim, they are still working to establish whether it is credible and whether the individual involved in London's attack are directly connected to any organized network. The investigation remains ongoing, and officials have emphasized that no definitive conclusions have been reached regarding the broader affiliations of the suspects. The locations of the attack has added to its significance. Golders Green is widely recognized as one of London's key centers of Jewish life, home to synagogues, schools, businesses, and community organizations. According to sources, the ambulances were parked near Maxika Hadath Synagogue, a well-known Orthodox institution, as we said, that serves as a focal point for the surrounding community. The targeting of both emergency vehicles and the religious site has heightened concerns about the symbolic intent behind the attack. In the aftermath, authorities have increased the police patrols in the area and across the neighborhoods with significant Jewish populations. According to sources, security measures are being reviewed in coordination with local community groups, with additional attention being paid to synagogues, schools, and volunteer services organizations that may be vulnerable to similar incidents. Um, Despite the damage caused, Hezbollah has reaffirmed its commitment to continue operations. According to sources, government officials have pledged to provide replacement ambulances to ensure that emergency medical services in the community are not disrupted. This response reflects on an effort to maintain continuity of essential services while investigation proceeds and recovery efforts begin. As of the latest, right? My goodness gracious here. As of the latest updates, the investigation remains active, with counterterrorism police continuing to review evidence and analyze footage and pursue leads related to the suspects. Authorities have urged members of the public to come forward with any information that could assist in identifying those responsible. The incident stands as both criminal investigation and a broader societal concerns, highlighting the intersection of hate crime, community security, and international tensions. According to sources, officials are treating the attack not only as a localized act of arson, but as a part of the wider pattern of targeted violence that requires coordination response across law enforcement, intelligence agency, and community organizations. Ultimately, the London ambulance arson attack underscores the vulnerability of the public service infrastructure when it comes to as a target of ideological and politically motivated violence. It also reinforces the importance of rapid emergency response, interagency coordination, and community resilience in the face of acts intended to intimidate or destabilize. As investigators continue, more details are expected to emerge regarding the identities of the perpetrators, their motivations, and any potential connections to larger networks. For now, the focus remains on securing the community, supporting those affected, and ensuring that those responsible are brought to justice. Um, Discussions about this. What measures can governments and local communities take to better protect emergency services and religious institutions from targeted attacks? How should authorities balance the need for transparency with the risk of releasing information during ongoing counterterrorism investigation? To what extent do international political tensions influence or contribute to domestic acts of hate crime and violence? And we're going to leave these questions to you, the audience. For the international viewer out there, please let us know. If you're from the UK, let us know. What do you think about everything that has happened, about the Jewish community, about the ambulances, going up in smoke? Let us know in the comment section. We would like you to join us. And yeah, we're always keeping an eye out on what's happening globally
That
as
would
well.
be for the best.
So, hell yeah. Now, final little bit here of our of a recent deaths this week. We're gonna start with this one. The death of OnlyFans owner Leonid Radvinsky. Passed away. Reports confirm the death of Leonid Radvinsky, the billionaire entrepreneur, best known as the owner of majority shareholder of the content subscription platform OnlyFans. According to sources, Radvinsky passed away at the age of 43 following a prolonged and private battle with cancer. His death marks a significant turning point for one of the most influential and controversial digital platforms of the modern internet era, raising immediate questions about leadership, ownership structure, and the future direction of the company he helped transform into a global business. Radvinsky, a Ukrainian-American businessman and computer programmer, had maintained a notably low-profile. Why can't I had maintained a notably low public profile throughout his career, despite his vast wealth and influence. According to sources, his passing was confirmed by a company statement expressing condolences and noting that he died peacefully, with his family requesting privacy during this time. His death closes a chapter not only in his personal story, but also in the evolution of the creator economy, a sector that OnlyFans played a central role in shaping. Born in Odessa, Ukraine, Radvinsky immigrated to the United States as a child and was raised in the Chicago area. He later attended Northwestern University, where he studied economics. According to sources, his early career began in technology and online ventures, including operation websites tied to adult content and affiliate traffic systems in the late 1990s and early 2000s. These early ventures laid the groundwork for his later involvement in the adult entertainment industry, which ultimately defined much of his professional legacy. In 2018, Radvinsky acquired Phoenix International Limited, the parent company of OnlyFans, becoming its majority shareholder and director. According to sources, this acquisition positioned him as the central figure behind the platform's rapid expansion. Originally launched in 2016 as a general content subscription service, OnlyFans quickly evolved under his ownership into a platform widely associated with adult content, while still allowing creators across various fields to monetize their audience directly. The platform growth accelerated dramatically during the COVID 2019 pandemic, when the large numbers of creators turned to subscription-based income models as traditional entertainment and employment sectors were disrupted. According to sources, OnlyFans experienced an exponential increase in both creators and subscribers during this period, becoming a dominant force in the digital creator economy. Its business model, which allows creators to retain approximately 80% of their earnings, while the company takes 20% commission, contributed to its widespread adoption. Under Radvinsky's leadership, OnlyFans became both highly profitable and widely debated as well. According to sources, the platform generated billions in annual revenue, with millions of creators and hundreds of millions of users globally. While it's enabled financial independence for many individuals, including adult performers, influencers, and independent creators, it has also drew criticism and controversy related to content moderation, labor conditions, and the broader societal implications of monetized adult content. Radvinsky himself remained largely behind the scenes, rarely giving interviews or making public appearances. According to sources, his low-profile approach contrasted sharply with the visibility of the platform he controlled. Despite this, he accumulated substantial personal wealth through dividends and ownership stakes, with estimates placing his net worth in the multi-billion-dollar range at the time of his death. In addition to his business activities, Radvinsky was involved in philanthropy. According to sources, he contributed to causes including cancer research, Ukraine relief efforts, animal welfare organizations, and medical institutions. He and his wife were also associated with charitable donations supporting healthcare initiatives. These efforts reflected a pattern of given that, like much of his life, remained relatively understated compared to other high-profile billionaires. In the months leading up to his death, there had been ongoing discussions about the potential sale of OnlyFans, or the partial divestment of his ownership stake. According to sources, investment firms had shown interest in acquiring a majority share of the platform, with valuations reaching into the billions of dollars. However, no final transaction had been Oh my goodness gracious. No final transaction had been completed prior to his passing. His death now introduces uncertainty into these negotiations as the ownership of the company may shift depending on estate arrangements, trusts, or prior corporate structuring. The immediate aftermath of his death has prompted attention not only from business analysts but also from creators who rely on the platform for income. According to sources, many top creators and public figures associated with OnlyFans have expressed reactions reflecting both shock and acknowledgement of the platform's impact on their livelihoods. Some have credited Radvinsky with an enabling new forms of income generation and financial independence that were previously unavailable in traditional media structures. At the corporate level, OnlyFans now faces a transition period. According to sources, the company's future leadership and ownership structure remain key questions, particularly given Ravinsky's majority stake and central role in the strategic decisions. Industry observers suggest that the platform's continuity will depend on how his holdings are managed and whether a successor structure or sale process is initiated. In previous reports, the company had already been exploring potential strategic transactions, which may now be revisited or accelerated. Ravinsky's death also highlights the broader trajectory of the creator economy, a sector that has grown rapidly over the past decade. OnlyFans stands as one of the most prominent examples of a platform that shifted monetization power directly to individual creators by bypassing traditional intermediaries. According to sources, the platform's influence extends beyond adult content into wider discussions about digital labor, online entrepreneurship, and the evolving nature of the media consumption. While his business practices and the platforms itself have been subject to debate, Ravinsky's impact on digital content distribution is widely acknowledged. According to sources, OnlyFans helped redefine how individuals can monetize personal content, contributing to a broader shift towards subscription-based and to consumer models across the internet. As the news of his death continues to circulate, attention is now turning towards of what comes next. The company he built remains a major player in the global digital economy, but its future direction will depend heavily on decisions made in the wake of his passing, whether through succession planning, potential acquisition, or continued independent operation. OnlyFans is entering a new phase without the figure who guided its rise. Ultimately, Leonid Ravinsky's death marks the end of an era defined by rapid technology or technological change, controversial innovation, and the emergence of new economic models centered around individual creators. His legacy will likely be viewed through multiple lenses: financial, cultural, and societal, as the platforms he owned continues to evolve in a landscape that helped fundamentally reshape. Now, my ending discussing questions about this: how might the death of a majority owner affect the stability, valuation, and strategic direction of a major digital platform like OnlyFans? In what ways has the creator economy reshaped traditional employment and income models? In what roles did platforms like OnlyFans play in that shift? Should platforms that rely heavily on individual creators be structured differently to ensure long-term stability and fair contribution of revenue at their leadership transactions or transitions? Sorry. So let us know in the comment section. Do you have anything to say about this at all, Revelation?
Not really, no, because I didn't even know that much about him other than, oh, hey, OnlyFans creator dies. I didn't know who the hell the OnlyFans creator was.
Oh, now you know. Leonid
Yeah, the
Radvinsky.
more you
The
know.
more you know. I wonder if there's a button for that. Wait. Wait. Is there a button for this? Ah, here we go. The more you know. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to take this moment. We're going to be giving an homage to those that we have lost this month of March. Valerie Perrine, she was 82 years old. Well, she passed at the age of 82. The Oscar-nominated actress, famous for her roles in Lenny and as Eve, Teschmacher in the original Superman films, died on March 23rd, today, following a long battle with Parkinson's disease. Robert S. Mueller III, he died at the age of 81. The former FBI director and special counsel who led the investigation into Russian interference in the 2016 election passed away on March 20th. Nicholas Brendan passed away at the age of 54, best known for playing Xander Harris on Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Brendan died in his sleep of natural causes on March 20th. Chuck Norris passed away at the age of 86. The legendary martial artist and action star of Walker, Texas Ranger, and the Delta Force died on March 19th following a medical emergency in Hawaii. Kiki Shepard passed away at the age of 74. The longtime co-host Showtime at the Apollo passed away on March 16 after suffering a massive heart attack. Dennis Condrey passed away at 74, a pioneer of professional wrestling and a member of the legendary Midnight Express tag team. His death was announced on March 21st. Ronnie Bowman passed away at the age of 64. The award-winning bluegrass musician and songwriter died on March 22nd following the motorcycle accident. John Alford passed away at the age of 54. The British actor known for his roles in Grange Hill and London's Burning died in prison on March 13. News widely circulated this past week. And then also as well, Ted Nichols, the iconic composer behind almost every classic Hanna-Barbera cartoon, has passed away at the age of 97. Best known for his unforgettable work on Scooby-Doo, Where Are You?, his music became a defining part of the show's identity, helping shape its eerie yet playful atmosphere for generations to come. He also composed for and worked on numerous beloved classics, including The Flintstones, Scooby-Doo, Where Are You?, Johnny Quest, Space Ghost, Wacky Races, Josie and the Pussycats. Nichols played a key role in shaping the sound of Saturday morning cartoons, blending suspense, comedy, and adventure through his distinct musical style. A pioneer whose music became the heartbeat of our childhood. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much, legend. Rest in peace to every single one of you, and thank you for our life. For those who I'm saying, we're gonna miss is the actors who have made a significant change in all of our lives. So again, rest in peace to everyone. And at this moment, we'll take a quick 10-second moment of silence. Now, ladies and gentlemen, before we pass it over to a good friend, Revelation, we're going to move it over to our sponsors of this show that we never forget. The first of many is the Caville Hotel and Tavern, located down in Kleinfeltersville, Pennsylvania. They're open from Wednesday to Sunday. Wednesday and Thursday they're open from 4 to 9, Friday 4 to 10, Saturday 12 to 10, and Sunday 12 to 8 p.m. Though they're located down at 2647 Heidelberg Avenue, Kleinfeltersville, Pennsylvania, zip code 17039, and their phone number is for any questions or reservations is 717 949 8413. Again, it is 717 949 89 sorry, 717 949 8413. Go ahead and give them a call for any questions or reservations. We also have a major sponsor of our show, Atlas Epoxy Floors. Founder and owner Bradford Kelly. It's located down in Milford, Connecticut. You can contact him at 203-496-6386 or contact him at his email at brad.kelly@atlasepoxyfloors.com. He does garages, basement, patios, lobbies, countertops, you name it. Brad Kelly will do the job for you. Just send him a shout, a picture, an email of the project that you want done, and he will get it done for you, ladies and gentlemen. He's located down in Milford, Connecticut, but can travel anywhere from South America, south of the United States, north of the United States, west of the United States, and eastern part of the United States. Ladies and gentlemen, just give him a shout. Bradford Kelly, again, Atlas Epoxy Floors, 203-496-6386, or brad.kelly at Atlas Epoxy Floors for the contact information. And also you can visit his website at www.atlasepoxyfloors.com. Let's also not forget one of our major sponsors of the show, Velocity Modern Classics, located down in 15 East Quintet Road in Encantement, Florida, 32533. You can also contact them at 850-466-1810. They're open from Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. You can also visit them at their website for velocityrestorations.com. You can find all the information on what they work on, what cars they work on as well. We're also, I'm also on a show called The Producer Mike Presents podcast, which is called The Movement. So check us out on the Producer Mike Presents and the Jessup Show Legacy channel, where you'll find The Movement. Also, there will be a big premiere happening this Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, if I'm not mistaken. I'm trying to find that information real quick for you guys, so you guys know. Yes, new show with the retreat with the Colonel. You can find it still on the same channel, the Producer Mike Presents channel. If you go and press the live button, you'll see that this Saturday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time will be a new show called The Retreat with the Colonel. I promise you, you will enjoy this one. It's a new show. If you know who Perry Caravello is, it's gonna kind of go in that direction. So make sure to visit Producer Mike Presents channel, YouTube channel at that, and go and check out the new show. We are not live tomorrow on our usual show, The Movement. We'll be live next week, Tuesday, at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, ladies and gentlemen. Now, without further ado, we will be sending it over to a good friend, Revelation, to give us a little bit of a lowdown of what's happening.
Okay. So, the first article is the feds detail a plan to cover up to $500 in hemp CBD and THC products for Medicare patients under a program launching next week, and this article was written on the 23rd of March of 2026, so yesterday. Patients enrolled in select federal health insurance programs could have up to $500 of hemp-derived products covered each year beginning as early as April 1st, according to new details about the cannabis initiative that's being implemented by the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Service. The CBD focus plan will also allow a certain amount of THC and products, but the agency said that the plan rules are subject to change if federal hemp policy changes, as is currently expected under a law set to take effect later this year. The president signed an executive order in December that calls on the attorney general to finalize a rule federally rescheduling marijuana. It also contained components to improve access to full-spectrum CBD products. To that end, the CMS update posted on Friday details how certain of its Innovation Center models will facilitate a pilot program providing coverage to regulate hemp-derived cannabinoid. Participants would be required to ensure that CBD is sourced from a legally compliant source and high-quality farm. Prepared as an oral solution and tested for cannabinoid content so that available products contain no more than 0.3% delta 9 THC by dry weight and up to 3 milligrams of total THC per serving. CMS said that the center is participating in one of the 3 models that receive substance access beneficiary engagement incentives. BEI will be able to consult with eligible beneficiaries about the possible use of eligible hemp products to improve symptom control. Again, it's with the $500 a year per eligible beneficiary, subject to model requirements and safeguards. It said, well, I'm emphasizing that Medicare does not pay the participant for the products, and beneficiaries should not be asked to submit a Medicare claim for the product. The 3 eligible innovation centers are CMS's ACO REACH model, Enhancing Oncology model, and Long-Term Enhanced ACO Design LED model. For the first 2, participants can elect to utilize the BEI for CBD coverage starting on the 1st of April. For LED participants, the start date is the 1st of January of 2027. Participating organizations under those models must first elect the Substance Access BEI and then produce a CMS implementation plan that describes the specific eligible hemp products and dosing information, the amount, frequency of distribution, beneficiary eligibility criteria, safeguards, oversights, and other requirements outlined in participations. Those plans would need to receive CMS approval before participants could offer cannabinoid coverage. Oh, good lord, that one was forever. And then the other one. No, I accidentally clicked on the wrong one. That was an older one. Here it is. This is the... okay, yes. So for those, fans of Marvel and also fans of The Punisher, good news. He is, getting his own special. apparently he will be in the he will be in what is it? Well, where is it saying it? Because that's what it's saying in the article, but it's not listing it. Are you really serious that it's not gonna? Hold on, everyone.
Today, Junior?
So, okay, so apparently it's separate from the events of Daredevil Born Again and Spider-Man Brand New Day, which are also featuring the Punisher, played by Bernthal. Um, so both the Punisher and the Daredevil featuring Bernthal have moved over to Disney Plus. He's the Disney has promised him his own special, which will also be on Disney Plus. Which will be as dark as the original Punisher. It then goes on to say that they will see him in Spider-Man Brand New Day, which hits theaters the 31st of July of this year. They're not saying how much of him will be in that movie, though. And that is all, apparently, for that. But apparently it's also saying that he did break a record, though. Something about the Punisher's special has also managed to break a new record for MCU specials available on the streaming platform. So, yeah, apparently not only is he in several upcoming specials, he has his own, and he also broke several records. So, yeah, there's that. Personally, I think he's the best, Punisher. But people are gonna disagree with me on that one.
That's all, folks.
Hell yeah. Is that all?
Yeah, you said it. That's all, folks.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, you know what that means. That's a wrap for tonight's episode of Unbound. We covered a wide range of major stories, from escalating Middle East war and its global impact on oil and alliances, to the LaGuardia Airport collision under investigation. ICE agents assisting TSA amid staffing pressures, Homeland Security leadership shift, and an international security incident in London, along with key developments in tech and cultural news, and revelations, news of Marvel and many other things. But before we go, I want to take a moment to highlight two important issues mental health, and domestic violence. These affect millions every day, but help is available. If you or someone you know is struggling with mental health challenges, you can contact the 988 Suicide Crisis Lifeline in the U.S. by dialing 988. Trained counselors are always available 24/7. For those affected by domestic violence, you can reach the National Domestic Violence Hotline at 1-800-799-7233 for confidential support, safety planning, and connections to local resources. And always remember, reaching out is a sign of strength, not weakness. You are not alone. Um, Thanks for tuning in into Unbound, ladies and gentlemen. Always stay informed, stay curious, and we'll see you next Friday. This Friday, about 11:30. This Friday. I know that this show has been pretty late, ladies and gentlemen, but Mondays and Fridays are days that I am gonna watch my wrestling. Like right now, what's happening with the push of Obafemi that faces Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. Let us know on the comments section what you think about that. And you know what? And before we even let you go, we have to move this over to Revelation to say his goodbyes. Maybe Revelation has something about Obafemi and Brock Lesnar, or maybe he has something to say about the fight between. Practically with this, with the well, even more than a fight. I think CM Punk dug himself into a grave now by talking smack about the OTC's father. So anyway,
If they make Reigns win, I'm gonna fucking riot.
already heard it. You heard it here, folks. You heard it here, folks.
Cause what are they gonna do? Have him win and then just fucking
Leave for the half of the season again.
leave so he can go work on something, and then just defend the title, be a Jade Cargill, and have one title defense for like 300 days. I'm getting sick of it. Ooh, I won the title. Let me just have one title defense for 7,000 days. Screw that. Go back to the old days. If you don't have a title defense for 1 month, you lose the title. Anyways, everyone, thank you for, sticking around, listening in, and, hopefully enjoying what we had to say. So, come back next time to listen to what enjoyable things we have to say and talk about, and we're gonna play you out with our fancy schmancy song.
Hell yeah, everybody. We'll catch you Friday. Thank you again, Revelation, for joining us and always helping us on the show. We'll see you Friday.
Unbound. Revelation in the house.
Oh, wait. We did it again. I know we did it again. We did it again. And I did it again. But again, I have to stop it right here before we continue. But I would like to say again, Magdali and Vanessa, thank you so much for sending me this gift from New Jersey. Guys, let me know if you want to send some gifts to me and Revelation. We're going to be opening up a P.O. box very soon. I'm excited. I'm excited to put this into my collection. I'm excited to see what more our viewers have to give us. I'm excited. Now, without further ado, everybody, we're leaving you with this one again. Unbound, ladies and gentlemen, Unbound. We'll be back Friday.
Unbound.
Don't miss it.
Revelation in the house. We did it again. Ow. We hit the mic, let the whole thing run. Took those questions one by one.
The cream, yeah. The cream of the crop. And they're